The Galaxy Council chamber fell silent as the human delegation's ships appeared on the viewing screens. Ambassador Velthor of the Corinthian Collective leaned forward in his hovering seat, his three eyes widening at the sight. The human vessels were scorched, pockmarked with weapons fire, and streaked with what appeared to be oxidized metal, or perhaps something else entirely. "They dare come before us in such condition?" hissed Representative Zixara, her scales rippling with indignation. "Have they no respect for protocol?" The Council had summoned Earth's representatives 3 cycles ago, demanding an explanation for humanity's rapid expansion into contested territories. 17 species had filed formal complaints. The humans were too aggressive, too unpredictable, too willing to fight when diplomacy was the civilized path. The summons was meant to put them in their place, to remind them that they were newcomers to a galaxy with 10,000 years of established order. Captain Sarah Chen stepped into the council chamber, her dress uniform immaculate despite the state of her ship. Behind her walked Commander James Wright and Dr. Amira Okonkwo, both bearing the same exhausted dignity. They had not stopped to repair their vessels. They had not stopped to rest. They had come directly from the battle. "Humans of Earth," began High Counselor Treshanak, his voice resonating through the chamber's acoustic amplifiers. "You stand accused of—" "We know why we're here," Sarah interrupted, her voice cutting through the formality like a blade. Gasps echoed through the chamber. No one interrupted the High Counselor. Treshanak's feathered crest rose in affront, but Sarah continued before he could respond. "You want to know why we've been fighting in the outer reaches? Why we've clashed with the Vraxian mining consortiums? Why we've established military outposts in supposedly neutral zones?" She stepped forward, and the chamber's lighting caught the blood on her boots, dried, dark, and unmistakably real. 48 hours ago, Sarah said, her voice steady but cold, we received a distress call from the Kepler 442 colony, a civilian settlement. Scientists, families, children. The Vraxians had assured the council they were simply conducting mineral surveys in that sector. She activated her personal holoprojector. Images filled the air above the council floor. Burning habitation domes, bodies, small bodies. The chamber erupted in shocked murmurs. Several delegates looked away. "The Vraxians weren't surveying," James spoke up, his jaw tight. "They were harvesting. And when the colonists discovered their operation was strip mining a living ecosystem, one with sentient fungal networks, they tried to report it. The Vraxians' response was to eliminate the witnesses. "This is preposterous," roared the Vraxian delegate, rising from his seat. "These are fabrications. The council has already reviewed our operations." "You reviewed what they showed you?" Amira interjected, her voice sharp with barely contained rage. "Sanitized reports. Approved documentation. They're very good at paperwork, Counselor. Less good at hiding mass graves." Sarah gestured and another image appeared, a data log with Vraxian authentication codes. "We pulled this from their orbital command center. Before we destroyed it, orders signed by their corporate council to eliminate the contamination. That's what they called those people. Contamination." Treshnak's feathers had flattened against his skull. "If this is true, why did you not bring this evidence to us first? Why take matters into your own hands?" Sarah's laugh was bitter. "We did bring it to you, Counselor. 8 months ago, after the incident at New Bangalore. And 6 months before that, after they attacked the Darwin station. Each time you promised investigations, committees, due process." She paused, and when she spoke again, her voice was ice. "Your due process takes years. Those colonists had minutes. So you decided to wage war," Zixara demanded. "To violate the council's authority?" "We decided to do what you wouldn't," James replied. "Protect the innocent. All 3 of our ships jumped into that system knowing we'd be outnumbered 5-1. We knew we might not make it out. But we also knew that if we waited for your council to finish debating and filing reports, there wouldn't be anyone left to save. You killed Vraxian citizens," another delegate accused. "Their merchantmen, their security forces, their death squads," Sarah corrected. "Yes, we did. Every ship that refused to stand down. Every facility that kept firing on civilian escape pods. We did what we had to do." She looked around the chamber, meeting the eyes of delegates who had spent centuries perfecting the art of diplomatic non-action. "You want to know why humanity is so aggressive? Why we don't wait for proper channels and committee approvals? It's because we remember what it's like to be helpless. We remember our own genocides, our own atrocities. We swore we'd never let it happen again. Not to us and not to anyone else we could reach. Dr. Okonkwo stepped forward, her voice softer but no less firm. We came here with blood-stained ships because we didn't have time to wash them. Because the moment we finished evacuating the survivors, we jumped straight to this summit. Because you needed to see this. She gestured at the images still floating in the air. Not reports. Not sanitized briefings. The truth. The cost of your bureaucracy. The chamber was silent now. Treshnak looked at the evidence, at the humans standing defiant before the galaxy's most powerful assembly, and something shifted in his ancient eyes. The Council will review this evidence, he said slowly. And if it proves authentic, when it proves authentic, Sarah interrupted again, you'll have a choice. You can censure us for violating your precious protocols, or you can help us hunt down every other operation like this hiding behind legitimate licenses and corporate charters. She took a step back, drawing herself to attention. Humanity didn't come to this galaxy to conquer it, Counselor. We came hoping to find we weren't alone, hoping to be better than we were. But we won't be civilized at the expense of the innocent. We won't play by rules that let evil flourish behind paperwork. The human delegation turned to leave, their footsteps echoing in the vast chamber. Captain Chen, Treshanak called out. She paused, looking back. Your ships. What will you do now? Sarah's smile was tired but genuine. Repair them. Resupply them. And hope we don't have to bloody them again. She paused at the threshold. But if we do, Counselor, at least you'll know why. As the humans departed, the Council sat in stunned silence. The blood on those ships, they now understood, wasn't a stain of shame. It was a promise. Humanity would not stand idle in the face of atrocity. Protocol be damned. The galaxy was learning what it meant to have humans among the stars. And for some species, it was a very uncomfortable education indeed.